The first time Moti the donkey saw the white horse from the royal stable, he nearly dropped the basket of onions he was carrying. Not because the horse was frightening, no. It was because the horse was beautiful in a way that felt almost rude. Its mane shone like silk, its steps sounded like drums of victory, and when it moved, even the dust seemed to rise with respect. Moti looked down at his own short legs, his dusty ears, and the onion basket tied on his back. "Wonderful," he muttered. "I carry onions, he carries applause." That was Moti's favorite curse these days. Not the kind of curse that made thunder fall from the sky, but the kind that made a donkey sigh so deeply that nearby chickens stopped pecking just to listen. He lived in a small village where farmers, traders, and animals all knew one another. Moti was kind, hard-working, and naturally a little dramatic. He helped carry sacks of grain, pulled small carts, and once even transported a sleeping priest who had promised to pay him in dates and never did. Life was not glamorous, but it was honest. Still, Moti had developed a bad habit. He compared himself to everyone. He compared his ears to the horse's sleek head. He compared his pace to the dog's speed. He compared his luck to the peacock's feathers, though he could not understand why anyone trusted a bird that looked like it had swallowed 1,000 flowers and then refused to apologize for it. Every day he told himself the same thing. Why must my road be so dusty while everyone else walks on moonlight? One morning, while dragging a cart full of clay pots up the hill, Moti overheard the villagers speaking about the king's parade. The royal horse, the shining white one, would lead the celebration through the town. Children would cheer, drums would beat, garland makers would be busy. Even the old baker, who never praised anyone unless they had excellent bread, was excited. Moti stopped in the road and stared into the distance. "That's it," he said. "Life has clearly chosen favorites." A crow on the fence looked at him sideways. "Have you noticed only now?" Moti ignored him. That evening, he wandered to the riverbank, unhappy in the special way only a creature with a full stomach can be. He watched the horse practicing elegant steps in the open field. The horse's trainer clapped and praised every lift of its legs. Moti sniffed. Of course, he dances and they clap. I work and they say, "Moti, faster!" The horse, hearing him, turned with a graceful toss of its head. "You should not compare yourself to me," it said in a calm voice. Moti blinked. "You talk?" "I'm a royal horse," the horse replied. "We are expected to do many things. Talking is the lesser surprises." Moti folded his ears back. "Easy for you to say. You are admired. I am used." The horse looked at him with quiet eyes. "Used is not the same as useless." Moti opened his mouth, closed it, then opened it again. "That sounds suspiciously wise." "It was either that or I start reciting poetry," said the horse, "and that would be unbearable." Moti almost laughed, but he was not ready to surrender his sorrow so easily. The horse went on. "You see me in the parade. You do not see the long nights, the sore muscles, the feeding schedules, the fear of one wrong step. Every path has thorns. Yours is just less decorated." Moti shook his head. "Still, yours looks better." "From far away," the horse said. "That is the trick." Moti returned home that night with the same basket of onions and the same heavy heart. He slept poorly. In his dream, all the animals of the village wore crowns except him. Even the goat had a gold chain. The rooster was giving speeches. It was a terrible dream. He woke up annoyed at everyone, especially himself. The next day was the parade. The village square was crowded. Drums rolled like thunder. Children ran everywhere with sticky hands and shining eyes. The royal horse stood near the main street, polished and glorious, while Moti waited by the market with a cart full of flour. He watched the horse lift its head as the crowd cheered. Then, without warning,
A loud crack echoed from the parade route. One of the old wooden bridges at the edge of the town had given way under the weight of a supply cart. People shouted. A donkey carrying medicine stumbled. A child cried. The parade froze. The royal horse, startled by the noise, reared back. Its rider lost balance. The crowd panicked. In the chaos, the horse bolted toward the river path where the ground had turned soft after the morning rain. Moti saw it happen. The horse's front leg slipped into the mud. Then the second. The proud white horse, the star of the parade, was suddenly stuck, trembling and very unglamorous. A group of men ran toward it, but the mud swallowed their boots. The rider shouted. The drums stopped. The children went silent. Moti did not think. He simply moved. He dropped the flower cart, rushed down the bank, and called for the farmer's rope. "Get the long one, not the short one. The short one is for tying goats, and I know from experience that goats are not emotionally cooperative." Even in the panic, a few villagers laughed. With the help of 2 villagers, Moti tied the rope to a sturdy tree and then to the cart. He positioned himself carefully, braced his feet in the mud, and pulled with every bit of strength his small body had ever collected from years of carrying, climbing, and enduring. Again and again he pulled. The horse strained, the villagers pushed, the rope creaked, Moti's legs shook, the mud clung to him like a jealous relative. At last, with one loud final tug, the horse was freed. It stumbled onto solid ground, shivering but safe. The crowd erupted. The same people who had cheered for the parade now cheered for the donkey. Moti saved the horse. Moti was brave. Look at him go. Someone even threw a flower garland over his neck, though it landed mostly around one ear and made him look like a confused wedding guest. The horse lowered its head to him. "You were not built for applause," it said gently. "You were built for rescue." Moti stared at the muddy ground, too stunned to speak. The horse continued, "I have the shine, you have the strength. I have the parade, you have the path. Do not insult your journey because it does not look like mine." Moti blinked hard. For once he had no clever reply, no complaint, no dramatic sigh, only a quiet feeling spreading through his chest, warm and unfamiliar. The village elder, who had watched everything, stepped forward and said, "A path is not lesser because it is different. The river and the road do not compete, both carry lives forward." That line settled over the crowd like evening sunlight. Moti looked at his muddy legs, his crooked ears, the flower dust on his nose, and the garland hanging sadly from one side of his neck. Then he smiled. It was not a grand smile. It was the smile of someone who had finally stopped borrowing another creature's story and remembered his own. He laughed softly and said, "Well, at least I look excellent in mud." The villagers laughed with him. Even the horse, still trembling a little, gave a noble snort that sounded suspiciously like a chuckle. From that day onward, Moti never again felt ashamed of his slow steps, his plain coat, or his humble work. He still noticed the horse, the peacock, the swift fox, and the proud rooster. But now, instead of asking why their lives looked brighter, he asked a better question. What is my road asking of me? And the answer was always enough. Because some are made to shine in the sun, some are made to carry the load, and some are made to rescue others when the road turns muddy. The wise heart learns this early. Do not compare your chapter to someone else's victory. The story is still being written, and the part that looks ordinary today may become the part that saves everything tomorrow.